So quite the mix, full-time, part-time, and absentee. The only thing you haven't covered is multi-unit.
Actually, good. We're heading the right way, Frank. I'm going to Vegas on March 20th to cover the multi-unit. Well, Orlando is a multi-unit. Orlando is 4 locations that we closed with one particular franchisee. Yelena in Tennessee, it's her 3rd location with us. So she owns 2 locations in Canada, and it's her 3rd location. Honestly, that's what it's all about, for these owners to trust us and continue to expand and buy other territories with us. And Yelena is tapping into the U.S. market. That's a huge trust right there.
Yeah. Irene, since you shared your background, this is not your first rodeo in franchising or understanding that franchisee relationship. What would you say is going to be really critical for you and your team to making sure specifically that multi-unit franchise operator is successful? Because it's a different game when you are trying to service the multi-unit operator versus that mom and pop single unit owner.
Operations. You have to have the right team, a great structure. Again, what is a franchisor for? It's to support the day-to-day operations for the franchise partners. So for me, having the right foundation, build the right foundation, have the right team in the operations. Also, venturing out of New York, in 2025, that was my goal. So venture out of New York to tap into Jersey, to tap into Tennessee. Texas and Orlando came into that was a total surprise for me. Orlando, we closed the deal December 30th. Texas, we're about to close a deal. Again, having the right foundation and support for the franchise partners is important. Building a territory manager in every state, so that way, even though we're in New York, we can give them a peace of mind that we're there to support you. We're there to cater to you. That's what ultimately they're looking for.
Yeah.
They've done this themselves. They're really looking for someone who's going to support them because it's a brand new market they're in. Also, this business is not a small investment. It's a close to $450,000 investment. So you have to make sure that people that are investing into this business really have the right support from corporate.
Absolutely. All right. I want to go back to how you found your franchisees. So I think it's so funny, by the way, you backed into franchising literally because your first franchisee wanted to buy something that you didn't even have. So being an accidental franchisor is hilarious in itself.
Yeah.
But so now that you're in franchising,
Frank, I was contemplating. I didn't have anything ready. I was like, do I do it? Do I not? Again, because I was worried about the support and the foundation. I didn't have it at that time.
That's amazing.
But yeah, we did it. We pulled it through.
Yeah, you pulled it out. Okay, so I get questions from people all the time that are starting out. They ask me, where am I going to find my first, half dozen franchisees? So tell me, besides, Diana, right? That was your first franchisee. Besides her, how did you find the folks in your franchise in Orlando and this Texas deal?
As the absentee owner, I'll say, honestly, word of mouth and organic traffic through SEO. That was my way of looking at this. I will tell you though, Texas came from a franchise expo in Texas. Dr. Elder in Jersey came from someone knew that in the bank, knew that I'm franchising and
said, knew the brand.
We have a great doctor who's interested in aesthetics. Again, it's all through connections. And remember in the beginning, I said our franchise partners are walking testimonials.
Yeah.
I mean it.
Yep. You're not kidding.
Yeah.
You're living proof.
Yeah. This is the best conversions in lead generation you can have.
Absolutely. Well, the reason why I bring that up is because, of course, the franchise industry is so oversaturated with brands that are out there that it's really difficult for an emerging brand to differentiate themselves, to get that awareness, to get enough leads that are meaningful that they're going to sell a franchise or two.
Oversaturated maybe in the restaurant business, oversaturated maybe in learning or tutoring business, but I would say within the aesthetics business, there's very few that can franchise. Because of the way the aesthetics business is set up. It's not easy. I will tell you that it's not easy. It's more close to medical field. You're dealing with services, you're dealing with people. So not a lot of franchisors are ready for this commitment. Yeah. So that's why, I can tell you maybe there's 2-3 in the market, in the US market, there are pros at it. And I'm going to consider myself as a pro as well. I also want to be able to tell you this, that I did not want to At the end of this year, I will be at 12 to 15 locations. Did I want to get there? Of course, every CEO wants to grow, but I want to do it carefully. I wanted to make sure that my brand grows. We take baby steps. We don't just go and jump into crazy exponential growth and be like, hold on a second. We need to slow down now because we are failing locations.
Yeah.
It's important to understand with every location what you can do better so you can, and how the model you need to continue to tweak. As a CEO, I ask myself every day, how can I be innovative and how can I be on trend as a brand and to my franchise partners? And those two words are very important in aesthetics industry because it's a fast paced market.
Yeah. All right, Irena, I got a question for you. That is, when I leave training as your franchisee, tell me exactly what would be the expectations of my hires. Who am I hiring and how many people am I hiring?
You'll be hiring with my team, one receptionist, one medical esthetician in the beginning, and a part-time injector, nurse.
That's it.
My team will be hiring with you. They'll be interviewing with you. We'll pretty much hold you by the hand until you're ready. You are ultimately 100% owner of this. So we make sure that we're not McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts to tell you, hey, this is how it's done and that's it. It's a very mutual conversation decision. I think she's got the great skill. Let's hire her. What do you think? And that's how we sort of go by. Once we hire them, we start the training phase. I wanted to tell you that in the last year of November of 2024, we've launched BYou Beauty Academy School.
Okay.
And that school is catered, and that we're the only franchisors who have a training school that's catered to outside students and to our franchise partners. So 2 weeks of training will happen there. The last week of training, the third week of training with franchise partners and their teams will happen in their facility. And then 1 week we will be with them going through once the clinic launches, going through the whole opening, anything that comes up, or we're there pretty much holding them by the hand until they're fully ready to go. That's
brilliant. I love that idea.
Training is intense. Again, we tend to forget it's not just a beauty industry, it's a medical aesthetics industry. You have to make sure that you go through every protocol and when you're ready to open and cater to the people.
Yeah. Irena, kind of high level, you mentioned the investment ranges. It's about $450,000, right, to open a BYou?
Yes, $45,000 franchise fee, 7% royalty fee, 3% marketing fund. And then we're ready to go.
All right. Sounds good. How big is a footprint usually of an office?
I would say anywhere between 15 to 1,800 square feet. 1,800 is a little high. I would even say 1,500 is really good. It's we're in the comfort zone.
Yeah. And where do you like to typically place these?
You're going to laugh now. Next to dermatologists.
Ooh.
Yes, I like a good competition. That's how arrogant I am with my franchise.
Wow. I love it. I was not expecting that.
Yes. Of course, I like to be next to Orange Theory, next to Starbucks.
Sure.
But I like the dermatologist next to us because that's how confident we are in our system and our model, in our treatments that we offer. The treatments were built by our MD. We have a doctor in-house, corporate doctor. We update every 6 months and so on. I think the model is so strong and built to be very profitable that I'm not afraid to be next to dermatologist. My first location was next to dermatologist.
That's amazing.
The other location, Oceanside, Long Beach, is right next to dermatologist.
Wow.
So yeah, believe it or not, and it's successful, it's profitable. I think if you ask me about success, I always say success is measured in 2 different ways. I know the formula is successful, but now it depends on the operator and his team.
Of course.
It always takes 2 to tango, so I will not say it's 100% on ownership, but I think success is rated based on how successful do you want to be.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.